I'm 28, work full-time, doing stuff with my day and my life, being 20 fucking 8. Of course, that doesn't matter and I should always make time for family yada yada yada. Let's just ignore the fact that I actually know about 15% of you by face and maybe 7% by name. Sorry, but between the 400 Mildreds, the 250 Lindas, 800 Stephanies, Chelseas and Janets that I see once every full planetary alignment, someone's bound to get lost in the weeds. I obviously make time for my parents, grandmother, siblings when we're all available. I'm the youngest out of 3 and while my job is pretty good, compared to theirs, it's definitely the most lenient, and anyone else that I see on a regular basis. Anyway, back to the funeral. During the pre-ceremonial gathering, I'm being showered with "Do you remember me? Do you know who I am?" It's been a long time. I say yes, yes and yes to avoid the bullshit. So in the midst of that, one of my cousins whom I have zero memory of, but she apparently regularly talks to my mom, comes up to me and introduces me to her kids. We exchange pleasantries and they seem super happy to meet me and their mom says that have been absolutely dying to meet me. My brain is like what the fuck, but I just shake it off at that moment because I wasn't in a good mood and just didn't want to focus on it. My cousin tells me they're around my age and that they also live in my state and are actually about a 40-minute drive from my place. Oh, that's awesome. I don't care. She suggests a little get-together sometime later this year and says she'll talk to my mom about it. Which sure, that's fine. I mean, it's not like I'm 14 and have to ask her permission to do anything anymore, but I took it as a cool, I don't have to worry about it then and left it at that. Fast forward to about 45 minutes ago. It's almost midnight. I get a call from a number that's based in the city most of my family lives in the other state. Not only that, but it's a very specific location. Too specific to just be a spam call, so naturally I kind of panicked. My grandmother was down there at the time and she's only a few years younger than my late grandfather, so call me a little paranoid. I answer. Hey, my name. It's cousin. How are you? Hey. I don't know who the fuck. What's up? What's going on? Everything okay? Yeah. Sounding confused by my question. Everything's fine. I was just calling to see when you were available to meet, son and daughter, for lunch this weekend. After I was finally able to put together who this was, I felt like that meme with all the equations floating around because there is no way this woman called me at near midnight to schedule a fucking play date. I said I'm sorry. What? Remember at the funeral? We talked about you and, kids' names, getting together sometime later? Daughter, is transferring to, university in my city, for her junior year and, son, is applying there too, so they're taking a tour on Saturday morning, so I was thinking we could meet you afterward and you could take them somewhere for lunch. Just nowhere with alcohol, just, son, is only 18. Yo, what? I remember her saying that they were around my age, but homie can't even drink? Then she starts rambling about how her daughter isn't allowed to drink unless she or her husband are present because she's 22 and doesn't know what moderation means. Maybe this is just me, but what in the God's green earth would a 28, almost 29-year-old have to talk about with a 18 and 22-year-old that isn't don't do drugs, focus on school and don't go getting nobody pregnant, not to mention the fact I don't even know these people. Before I knew it, I had started wheezing and squawking in the phone and cuz did not appreciate it. I couldn't hear what she said under my laughter, but I was like, yeah, I don't think so. I work a double on Saturday, so I'm not getting off until like 8 p.m. Well, first of all, I don't know what was so funny about what I said, and you could easily just do a nice dinner or something. 8 p.m. isn't that late. My little patience is gone at this point. Ma'am, I work a good 40 minutes away and this isn't Star Trek. I'm not getting home until around 9 and I am not itching to babysit after an 11-hour shift. I can recommend some spots for y'all to check out yourselves, but this is a college town. You're not going to find many places with zero alcohol, but it's not like they don't have other drinks. Excuse me. I know your mother did not raise you to be rude like this, especially to family. Dude, I don't know you. I have no idea who you are and you're calling me at witching hour to schedule a hangout with your kids who are in fact not around my age. Girl, y'all are all young adults. I pay for my own medical insurance. We are not the same. Please, do not call me again. I hung up and had a small cackle fit with my fiancé who was awoken by this nonsense. Obviously I'm not going to hear about this until normal waking hours, but I low-key hope she wakes my mom and bitches to her about me so my mom can cuss her out for calling either of us at such an ungodly hour. But I know mom's going to tell me that I could have been a little nicer, which honestly, I think I did just fine by not cussing during the conversation, but maybe that's just me and my zero bullshit tolerance talking. Update 1. Turns out, I cursed my mom by making a joke about my cousin calling her to bitch about me after she got off the phone with me, because that's exactly what she did. Woke my poor hardworking mother up to tattle on me. Now my mom's an absolute peach, in front of me anyway, but I've seen her cut up at people like a runaway chainsaw, so she wasn't fooling me with her cutesy fairy act. Tinkerbell can be petty bitch. While she didn't tell me what exactly she said, she mentioned that he said some words, which is her way of saying I cussed, and she hung up the phone after one sentence. Once she got up and had her coffee, she called my cousin back and got the full details of the story, and that's when she called me. I knew my sweet mom was having the worst time trying to keep a straight face and be a mother in that moment because the first thing she asked me when I answered was, "Did you make a Star Trek reference during a conversation with cousin as to why you wouldn't be able to have dinner with her kids?" Yes, I did, because she was making it sound like I had a transporter in my pocket, but still just have a car because I like to buy gas or something. I could totally hear her trying not to crack up through the phone. "I don't think she quite understands your humor, honey." Well, no surprise there because we don't know each other. She immediately broke and cackled so loud that my dad heard from another room and I heard him crack up through the speaker. As much as I know she wanted to, she couldn't bring herself to tell me to apologize just yet and told me to just hold off until cousin calms down some, but she'd keep me posted. This was the part that almost made me crash my car. I was driving to work during this call. So, I know what cousin did was ridiculous, but do you think it was appropriate to laugh at her? I'm not gonna say exactly what he said, but apparently mom made up a very colorful name that included the N-word when my cousin woke her up this morning. Don't worry, we're all black. In all of my years of life, not one time have I heard my mom say that, and I'm surprised she was able to recover from that amount of rage to even call this woman back, let alone have a normal conversation. So I think it goes without saying, I'm definitely not the way anyone needs to really be worried about pissing off from now on. Compared to my mom when she's tired, I'm a box of kittens. Update 2. I have officially had enough of this raccoon dog of an individual, which is what I will be referring to here as from here on, as that is now her name in my contacts. If you all thought the audacity and entitlement could not be topped, prepare to be just as wrong as I was. And if you did think so, well, I guess I'm just a fucking idiot. Anyway, since I was off today, I decided to work on a new beer recipe I conjured up, so I'm in the kitchen stove with my brew pot. Now for context, when you home brew beer, the first thing you do is make the wort, which is basically your sugar water. It's made from a process of boiling grains in a kettle/pot, then removing it from heat to add the malt extracts, which you have to mix until it's dissolved before boiling the mixture again. Afterward, you add the hops, what provide bitterness and a variety of flavors. My brews, in particular, are a little more complicated because I use different ingredients that I grow myself in the initial boil. Because of this, I take very great care to not waste any of it because these ingredients do take a long time to grow. This will be important later. So, I'm chillin', doing my thing when I get a call from the raccoon dog from hell. After contemplating whether to send her to voicemail or not, my curiosity got the best of me and I answered. "Hello? Hey Blay, it's RD. Oh, hey, what's up? So, I just wanted to apologize for the other day. I didn't even think about what time it was. I'm usually up pretty late chatting with somebody, can't relate, and I just went ahead and called." "Yeah, I feel that, no worries." Seething internally. "So listen, I know we got off to a bad start, but I was hoping you'd reconsider hanging out with Blay and Blay, since they don't know anyone in that town, and I know you were concerned because you don't know each other. I get it. I just want them to have someone present that they could be comfortable around. Now, as I said in previous comments, I think that's totally fair. After all, she is their mother and she's probably just trying to make sure college isn't a drag for them. I personally hated going to classes and being around people I didn't know for that long, and I really wasn't feeling the whole college mingle vibe, so I took online classes and stayed home, so I completely understood where she was coming from and I expressed that. Thank you for understanding. Now your mother told me that these things need to be scheduled in advance for you because of your job, so I was thinking around Thanksgiving or Christmas time since we'll all be gathered together anyway. Yeah, sure, since we'll all be in the same spot anyway. I don't see why not. Great. Thank you so much. They're going to be so excited. Awesome, sounds good. Enter click-clack of brew pot being returned to the hot stove. Are you cooking something? Yeah. Oh. You know how to cook? What are you making? I'm making wort for a new recipe I'm trying out. Wort? What's that? Oh, it's the sugar base for beer. I'm sorry, did you say beer? Yeah. You're making beer? Yeah? Oh, does your mother know you're doing that? She knows I know how to make it, so yeah, I guess? Oh. Awkward silence. You did hear that I said beer and not cocaine, right? You know how to make that too? No. I asked because you're acting like I'm Breaking Bad or something. I mean, I'm just concerned about how that might influence the kids, so maybe don't mention that when you hang out? Now, I already know that my career choice/hobbies aren't ideal for some traditional families, but I'd be lying if I said I didn't get a little offended about how she reacted and treated something I'm so passionate about. The only reason I didn't decline the hangout and hang up was because of the fact that 1. I was going to see them during the holidays anyway, and 2. I don't really talk about my passions in front of my family anyway out of respect and to avoid any extra bullshit, so it's not like it really would have been an issue. So I just rolled my eyes and agreed. Awesome. Okay, so last thing, I know there's a lot of student housing in that area and cheap apartments, so I was wondering which ones we should look into that would be close to the school, but also close to you too. Now, this is where shit got real, and I'll be honest, I grinned a little bit. Well, my apartment is about a 5 to 10 minute walk from the school and the rates are pretty decent for a 2-bedroom. That's fantastic. You guys could be neighbors. Yeah, about that, we actually won't be in the area because we're moving to city that I work in that's almost 40 miles away, before the new year. Okay I'm not really following. You're saying you won't be able to come see them? Insert Britney Spears WTF face. Well, no, not really. The whole purpose of the move is for us to be closer to our jobs so we won't have to drive that far. But you do it all the time, so I just don't see why you wouldn't be able to do it like once or twice a week to go see them. That would actually be super inconvenient for me. I don't think that would be very plausible. It's inconvenient to spend a few hours of time with your family? Don't you drive further to get to city where my parents live? I mean, yeah, but it's usually because of traffic. So, you'll be even further when you move and you'd go see them anyway, so I don't understand what's so inconvenient about you driving halfway to spend time with your cousins. Especially on days like today where all you'll be doing is making alcohol when you could be spending time with your family. I mean, it's just, I feel your priorities here are a little backwards. Now I have painfully and carefully picked and chose my words while talking to this person during all of our conversations, but my brain pushed civility in the closet and locked it for the rest of this conversation. I'm sorry, did you really just compare the level of importance between your kids that I have said exactly ni word to in my entire 28 years of life to my fucking parents? Okay, first of all, honey, I don't know who the hell you think you're talking to. Who the fuck are you again? What do I owe you again? What part of my day or time do you deserve a piece of again? What meaning are you in my life again? What would I miss if we hadn't met again? Oh, nothing, because I don't fucking know you and I don't care if you decide to move in my fucking attic. I don't have an attic. I'm going to go see my parents and bring them all the homemade booze I want years before I even remember your fucking name, and fuck you for distracting me because my pot boiled over and now my fucking word is ruined. That last part was in the heat over the moment, but I almost lost it when I heard my fiancé bust a laugh in the next room. From what he described to me later, he said I sounded like an angry Bubbles from the Powerpuff Girls. After that, I don't even remember if she said anything because I was trying to clean up the sticky mess of my ruined concoction off of my stove and floor before my cat could get to it, and was just cursing under my breath, and all my irritation could muster was an angry "see you on Thanksgiving" before I hung up. I haven't heard anything else from anyone, but considering the blow up was so out of character for me, I'm almost 120% sure no one will have the nerve. It's rare that I actually get mad, so when I do, my parents have always just made sure I was okay and left it alone and would gatekeep anyone that tried to bring it up later. My fiancé came to help me clean the mess, and I gotta give him props for being able to quickly make me laugh about how the sound I made when I saw the pot boil over. I jokingly asked if he thinks I'd get in trouble for that, but he said that he thinks I scared her enough to send back to trash den for a while. Update 3. This is just the first time I've had since Thanksgiving where I've had absolutely nothing to do. This will be the last update of this roller coaster of mayhem, so thank you everyone that took time out of their day to read all this, and I'm happy that I was able to entertain you. Now for the moment you've all been waiting for. I know most of you guys were thinking it was going to be some sort of media circus monstrosity family dinner, because I did too, but the goddess of chaos decided to be my bestie this year and make this holiday just so perfect for me. Thanksgiving with my family was closed. My parents went to visit my brother, my grandmother went to home in honor of my grandfather, and my fiancé and I both had to work Black Friday, so we spent our Thanksgiving at home in peace. We had a delicious meal, delicious drinks brewed by moi, and cuddly PJs with a horror movie marathon. It was absolute perfection and I was loving it like a fat cat in a canned tuna factory. But then, my phone rang. It's a number I don't recognize, so I ignore it. They go to voicemail. I'm on holiday vacation mode, so that can wait until tomorrow. A few minutes later, another call. Same number. Then another few minutes, another. Then another. Then another. At this point, I'm about to put a salt barrier around my phone like that would somehow repel a phone stalker. Then my fiancé, being the rational genius he is, suggests that I listen to the voicemail that I had completely forgotten about. I put it on speaker for us to listen to. Hey, SFM, this is landlord. I'm using my personal phone because obviously, the office is closed. I am so sorry to interrupt your holiday, but I'm going to need you to call me back as soon as humanly possible. Well, I've missed about 8 calls from this woman at this point, so I panic call her back. Now at this point, you all are probably wondering where the raccoon dog comes in. Oh, baby, it's about to feel like Christmas. Now, as I'm typing this out days after this went down, I don't have the conversation memorized word for word, but I know I can get it pretty close. I remember what I said, and my landlord was less than professional during this conversation. No judgment, I would have been pissed too, so I think I'll be able to get the gist across. I call my landlord. Hello? Her tone like she found the whole turkey in the toilet. Hey. I'm so sorry, I didn't know this was you, and I was nah, honey. I get it. You were enjoying your holiday like we all should be. Don't even worry about it. Okay, insert nervous chuckle here. So, what's up? What's going on? Do you know a woman by the name of Raccoon Dog? Dude, the fact that I still forgot her name, so I said not off the top of my head, no. Alright, well she knows you and has been giving our courtesy officer hell for the past hour and a half because she said you invited her kids over and now she can't get a hold of you. Tell me this bitch didn't take the "see you on Thanksgiving" comment I made during our last phone call as an invitation to come to my home. Now at this point, I'm still not putting two and two together since it's been a month since my last interaction with this human. So I'm over here panicking like a squirrel trying to cross a busy intersection because for my landlord to call me from her cell phone on Thanksgiving, my brain said eviction notice. I explained that I have no idea who this could possibly be because neither of us invited anybody. Landlord goes full nail salon black lady mode at this point. See, that's what I thought because you guys don't ever really have nobody around like that anyway. RIP my landlord knowing that my fiancé and I antisocial hermits, but she knows your name, she didn't mention, fiancé, and has been demanding we give her your room number, like really? No respectable establishment would just give out their tenants' information like that even if we did you still breaking the law. What's she doing? She parked in front of the fire zone with her kids in the car and is shouting police brutality because our courtesy officer gave her a fine and told her that if she don't move, we're going to have her car towed. Mind you, the fine here for parking in front of a fire zone run between $500 to $2,000 depending location and severity of the situation. My apartment is very close to the university and the main road to the separate properties is a very commonly used route directly to many of the university buildings as well as the a third of the fraternities. So if there was a fire in that area, that section would most definitely be blocked off so they take this very seriously. Did she move? No. She got a fine for the fire zone and then she threatened the courtesy officer so he had to call for backup and her kids are still in the car. I cackled while I'm obviously still panicking because I still don't know who this is because I'm an idiot. My fiancé started laughing like a maniac next to me. Yo, it's Raccoon Dog, he's in on the joke. I just texted your mom. 5 what? My landlord's like what dog? And I explain everything to her from the beginning and I can hear all the energy leave her body because all she can do is laugh. This poor woman sounds so beaten down and exhausted as she asks me if I can officially state that I didn't invite her and don't want her here. I confirm this and this beautiful woman goes alright, I got this bitch. Y'all have yourselves an absolutely wonderful Thanksgiving. We ended the call and just in a silent mixture between disbelief, shock and trying not to laugh. I kept thinking about this woman's kids and how fucking embarrassed they must have been. How I haven't heard from somebody that they've run away at this point is beyond me. I tried to muster something to say and all I did was open my mouth before my fiancé stopped me with a nope. Nope, nope, nope. Nope. Eat. Watch and just pressed play on our movie. Honestly, I had no idea what to say so I just complied while trying to hold in my laugh and not choke on my food. I found out from my mom later that RD had contacted her and threw the biggest tantrum because I apparently lied to her about spending Thanksgiving with her kids, during a phone call where I had literally cussed her out, and caused her to get fined $2,000 by the courtesy officer, directed by my landlord, as well as her husband having to bail her out of jail for $3,500 as well as $7,500 fine for resisting arrest, trespassing, and threats of violence toward a police officer. Yeah, aren't I the fucking worst? And I didn't even have to lift a finger. I still have barely any words on the situation and am still trying to convince myself that it actually happened and that it started from a random unsolicited phone call in the middle of the night a couple of months ago. Now, did you guys think that was the best part? Wrong. The pièce de resistance. 2 days ago. Her kids made a group chat on one of my social media accounts with the three of us, and apologized for their psycho mother and all the shit she's given me about hanging out with them. They said they had wanted to apologize for a while on her behalf, but were so embarrassed that they figured they'd just leave me alone. But what happened on Thanksgiving was the straw that broke the camel's back for them which, yeah. The fact that instead of spending Thanksgiving with loved ones, enjoying a huge feast and a whole day to chill, these kids spent the majority of their day in the middle of a spectacle of pure insanity brought on by their delusional mother in a car at a random apartment complex and had to sit in a police station for who knows how long until they able to be picked up by the dad knowing their mom would be in jail overnight and getting her out alone would probably blow half of their Christmas fund. All I could say in response was, there's a really great pizza place up the street. I don't know what you guys' schedule is like, but I'm off next Friday and it's on me. Now I've got a restraining order and a pizza date this weekend. Combo made in heaven. I hope y'all had as much fun reading this as I did writing it out. This whole thing has been such a clusterfuck dumpster explosion and I'm glad you all enjoyed sitting in it with me.